But then there is something coming from Niger Tornadoes. They are not happy with what Enyiba did. We'll tell you that on the show. Plateau United are still top of the NPFL. Sport in time has got to be the Chan list. We will come to this where Salisu Yusuf invited 30 players for the next qualifying phase. Nigeria indeed have a bye to indeed the second round, and they'll be playing either Togo or Ghana. But talking about the Nigeria Professional Football League, Niger Tornadoes are not happy. But according to a report, it is said that Niger Tornadoes have protested to the LMC that Ikechukwu Ibenagbum was suspended for that encounter because he already had 5 yellow cards. But then he played in that encounter, and right now they've notified the league management company. We keep our fingers crossed and see how things unfold. Nigeria Basketball Federation, some will say a huge embarrassment it was for us over the weekend, where 2 teams went to an African country, and indeed a lot happened. One faction led by Tijani Umar and the other faction. But then we'll be taking a look at that on the show this afternoon. Let's indeed celebrate Uche Agbo, who moved from Granada Football Club to the Jupiler League out there in Belgium. Earlier today, the Juventus Football Club is already training with Manchester United in America. His name, Lukaku Romelu, the Belgian, indeed had a move of £75 million agreed between both parties, Manchester United and indeed Everton. And as we speak, he has already started training with the football club out there in what indeed is happening as we speak. Let's indeed bring to you the reaction of the technical committee chairman, Barrister Chris Green. We also have Paul Bassi, not forgetting the head coach of the Super Eagles, this time the Chan squad, Salisu Yusuf. They are indeed talking about the 30-man list, and also Carl Ikeme. When will you be listening to that from Paul Bassi and other major actors as far as football administration is concerned in Nigeria? When we come back, we'll be taking a look at basketball in the country, Nigeria.
Definitely, we mentioned you. The president out of the country, the moment he comes in, we are communicating with him. Just we have selected, we want about 3-4 people, make it a strong delegation to go and sympathize with the young man. We are with him, communicating every day, but we still need to go there physically, and we discussed it. By the coach program which we have approved, the players will report to Kaduna on the 16th, told them on the need for them to write officially to the clubs, pleading with the club, let them be patriotic. Release your players by the 16th, let them report to camp because the training starts the next day. Get them back. With the liaise and interface with the LMC. He has given us a detailed program of what he wants to do. We have approved it. We now have to work with him and make sure that those players are released. And then, I mean, if for crying out loud, if out of how many players in the league, you are one of the 30 that has been chosen, you should run to the national. He can play in Kaduna. He wants to play in Kaduna. We didn't have to query. We didn't have to query him where they want to play.
You see, we still have good players out there that they are not even in the 30. Because in my scouting report, we have like 45 to 46 players. In each position, we have 4 players. I think in 2 positions, we have, like the striking position, we have like 6 players. To our level, we constitute and bring in the other players that will can play at the same level. And the league is so rich, and they have good players every day.
Almost, I'd like to send my best wishes to Carl and his family in this difficult time. As the club have already stated, you know, he's going to get backed with all the help that they need from the club's point of view, and obviously the players who have been here a long time with him as well.
Ivan said this afternoon, he's one man who has indeed invested so much in sports in the country, Nigeria, and he also runs a basketball club in the country. FIBA Africa Zone 3 President Colonel Sam Amedu. He's into football, he's into basketball, and he's doing very well as far as Adams Ibrozano. But then I must apologize, retired Colonel Sam Amedu. Well, Adams, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Well, let's go straight to the business of the day. Is of the opinion that there is crisis in Nigeria basketball. Will you agree with this?
People may think no crisis. He will talk about there being a crisis where two people, no two things can be right. One is right, one is
and the other could be right. And as we speak, we have two precedents as far as the Basketball Federation is concerned.
yes.
One is Tijani Umar from the election which was held on the Kano, the other on the 12th. The 11th in Kano brought in Tijani Umar, and then Musa Kida from the election in Abuja represented Nigeria. Colonel, you just came back into Nigeria. What can you indeed tell us as far as the situation?
The election in Kano, the so-called election in Kano was on the 12th, and the Abuja was on the 13th.
On the 13th, the next day.
Now,
okay.
For what it is what? There is the law recognizes what is recognized by law. Doesn't recognize what is by fact.
Well,
so the Kano.
The law, is it the law of the land Nigeria?
Yes, the law of the
all across, the globe, and then that's what they are saying, that they are working with the constitution of FIBA.
Now, see, Mr. Miyen, you are a presenter.
Yes, I'm asking a question.
Yes, the FIBA law, they have to show you the law.
They were of the opinion that the constitution says if they've held their AGM and BBF.
Okay, now, what did you introduce me as now?
African Zone 3 FIBA presidents.
FIBA.
Yes.
So I am FIBA in Nigeria. So I am to tell you what the FIBA law says.
So why is the crisis?
Creating crisis. There is
when we had two teams on the continent.
Thank you very much.
How has that got to do with Miyen Akiri?
Yeah, because of what let me give you one example.
All right.
And I will pray that you will allow me.
I will.
Law is registered by law. The staff are known.
Yes.
And I choose to go and establish one kangaroo TV station, and I say I am the Galaxy TV. Then the National Communications and I the fake Galaxy TV, and I show. You will tell me there is a crisis. I should be arrested for claiming I am Galaxy TV when there is a Galaxy TV that is already established and then known. I want to create crisis, but when you are having your, like our honorable minister said. So Africa Zone 3. The competition is organized by my zone. FIBA Zone 3 Ashegbu form the Nigerian team. But in your usual, you and your friends, your usual way, you want to cause trouble, you go and form
they are trying to pull the Basketball Federation down. And that's the crisis I'm talking about. It has got nothing to do with Miyen Akiri.
No, when I say you are representing the press now. You are a big man.
I'm only asking questions.
Okay.
The press has got...
They brought a team. Now let me tell you.
Yes,
the team they brought, they were not wearing Nigeria. They were wearing Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four.
Does our national basketball team wear Fantastic Four? No. And that's why I saw it. But I couldn't talk as Nigeria. But all the same, Fantastic Four is not our national team. Our national team is Nigeria. The Nigerian team came with the name Nigeria. So that they were there doesn't mean there were two factions there. Did I tell you now? There will be crisis if you cannot look. See, let me just tell you, Miyen. Not every crisis is a crisis. Let me tell you. It is a crisis when you cannot find a solution and when you cannot tell who is right, who is wrong. So in this case, President has told the Nigerian team, okay, guys, don't enter into any quarrel with anybody. Yes. And why he said, don't enter into any problem with anybody. They want us, you and them, to quarrel. They will say Nigeria, which is the news. You media.
The other faction has released a team.
Yes.
For the national team, list of invited players for the national team.
Very, very
now,
good.
The question is, what is happening?
Okay, thank you
Our
very
players
much.
are suffering.
Yes. No, players are...
They don't know where to go.
No,
psychologically, it's a problem.
Wait, first.
Who's in charge of the league?
The former board is in charge.
The former board is still in charge.
Yes.
The same board you see as illegal.
Yes, they are illegal.
And they are running the league.
Yes.
Why?
Let me tell you why. In life, there must be a transition.
Okay.
We were elected who will suffer. The same players that you don't want to suffer are the ones that will suffer. Okay. The same clubs that you don't want to suffer are the ones that will suffer. So we said, okay, guys, since you've started the league, You already have the sponsors funding and everything.
About $12 million.
Now,
and also they're in charge of the league, just like you
yeah,
agreed.
no, Zenith League is different from the Kwesi League.
The Kwesi League, okay.
You are mixing it up.
Okay,
I'm
I
talking
agree.
about Zenith League.
I agree.
You ask me why are they doing the Zenith League.
Okay.
Let me answer you. So we said, okay, so that there will be smooth transition. The same thing, the Kwesi League. We allowed them to continue the Kwesi League. But let me tell you one thing. $12 million you are shouting is by mouth. Does the Nigerian Basketball Federation look like people that have 12 to the whole of Nigerian sports?
About 6.8 billion, that was what was released this year, which is not enough.
Multiply $12 million by 400 and tell me whether it will not be more than that 6.8 billion. So basketball has money than the whole of Nigeria.
Interesting.
Is it possible to meet at the NBA games and everything? There are information I have that I don't have to report. That $12 million is all a campaign gimmick to lure people with weak minds to say there is $12 million. There is not. Now, let me tell you, last week I got the dollars. Final question you ask, the national team. It's very easy. No be person will first report case to go police when they win the case. If ministry
The way forward.
no, there is nothing like way.
You agreed because you want smooth transition. He's still in charge of the league.
Yes, but this is the
And you tag them as criminal. That's what I'm asking.
No, but
if
yes.
they are also causing some form of crisis by releasing names of players for the national team, as we speak, that happened today.
Yes. Okay. Now,
And I'm asking, what is the way forward?
let me tell you one now. You see, you take a peculiar situation in a peculiar way.
Okay.
We have not been,
Okay.
Thank you very much.
From my findings,
Yes.
the election in Kano,
Yes.
to a large extent, of the constitution and the guidelines. Those people are saying, that is the Tijani Umar-led board, are saying there will be FIBA ban
Yes.
if they are not allowed to indeed rule basketball in the country, because they said FIBA
Yes.
is aware that they
First, there was no constitution.
Okay.
And why? I've talked about this in so many places. This is what they call a constitution. I have analyzed it. FIBA has analyzed it, and FIBA told them there is no constitution. Because one, when the so-called constitution was passed, of the 30th was held, and I will open to the page. I wish the camera can catch it.
Okay.
AGM of the
AGM agenda.
The agenda for the AGM. Look,
Constitution.
yes, that is what it reads.
Okay.
Even if the viewers can't see it, I'm happy you can read it. The members had not seen the paper before.
Okay. They've not seen the
Wait, let me finish. The paper was just brought that day, and in 10 minutes you said that they have adopted paper. People said, give us this document, let us take it to our states. That is another one.
We have
one last
minutes
thing
left.
Yes,
So you need to
please.
call it a day,
Please.
Colonel.
One last day. One last thing. Those states wrote a petition.
Yes.
The states wrote a petition to the Honorable Minister. That time the federation, like you said, was tenable. It is null and void.
Okay, that time isn't our friend retired Colonel.
So what constitution are we talking about?
So as we speak,
You cannot build something on nothing.
so we have to wait for the inauguration.
No, yes, my final word. There were 5 federations that had constitutions.
Rugby.
Wrestling, rugby, so some of them did.
Okay.
But however,
First Staff Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, who commissioned the facility of land
that helps the aircraft, and also we can use it in our hospitals.
in the counterinsurgency struggles. Straight now to Delta State, where maritime workers under the umbrella of the Senior Staff Association of Communications, Transport and the Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria, Delta State chapter, have shown.
We are here to protest against the bill because the bill is anti-workers, it's anti-people. And when that bill is established, many of our members, many of our workers will be thrown into the unemployment market. And hence we are protesting against the bill.
It's ongoing in the House of Representatives that has passed first, second reading in the Senate House and is in the second reading in the House of Representatives. So we are saying